Upon breaking out of the macro falling wedge structure, Bitcoin rallied from 19,200 all the way up to the next major macro resistance, sitting between 22,600 and 23,800. We're going to go ahead and discuss what this means for the macro price action as well as the short-term price action, and discuss if that long overdue pullback is likely to occur. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Okay guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning into today's video. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. We're going to go ahead and discuss Bitcoin, as Bitcoin has just reached the macro resistance between 22,600 and 24,000. This is, of course, the first macro resistance zone on the chart that we have retested since the bounce from about 15,500. Okay, this is going to be the major resistance that's going to stop Bitcoin or facilitate Bitcoin for the move up to about 28 to 30,000. So it's a very important level. It's a very important zone, a zone of which we're going to see a massive rejection from, and you see a healthy correction, or of course the zone that's going to facilitate a continuation. So we're going to discuss what this means today, what the short-term price action is doing, what the macro price action is doing, how the macro and short-term look, and what the 4-year cycle is still saying. We're also going to go over a few community questions and a bunch more. So before we get into it, guys, smash the like button, hit the comment button, subscribe to the channel. Of course, we do daily technical analysis videos for Bitcoin and broader markets. Everything you need to know is in our videos. We talk about the short term if you're a scalp trader, we talk about the macro if you're a long-term investor, and we talk about the technicals and structural analysis for Bitcoin and the broader markets every single day to keep you guys up to date. We do have a Telegram channel, which will be the second link down below in the pinned comments. You get access to all of our charts, analysis, videos, news events, information, and so much more. And of course, a VIP channel with daily trade signals, entries, targets, stop losses, everything you need to trade effectively in this market, including a group chat to help you along the way. We also have our Bitget exchange that we trade on. I highly recommend supporting the channel and sign up to Bitget, the link down below. We'll talk about that more later in the video. Let's go ahead and get into the market data. So how are we looking currently? 36.92% in the green for January. Like I said already, this is one of the biggest months we've seen for a long time. We haven't even seen a month in 2022 that was as large as 36%. In fact, less than 10% of the months in the history of Bitcoin have been over 36%. So this is quite a rare occurrence to see a month that has 36% plus. It's been a very bullish month for Bitcoin. Of course, a lot of positive price action as we have seen. Volume in a 24-hour period is at $100 billion, very high, up 1% from yesterday. And of course, 24-hour liquidations is down 38%, but considering yesterday our liquidations were up 665%, that is not alarming. That is quite normal to see. 177 million is still very high. Volatility up 2.15%. Again, volatility is starting to ramp up, which is of course good. And long liquidations have been the majority over the last 4 hours, as we have seen quite a strong liquidation wick up into that 23,300 range and come back down to 22,700. So longs have got basically wrecked in that last 4-hour period. But again, looking at the last couple of days, shorts have definitely been on the receiving end of most of this blood on the way up, of course. So let's go ahead and talk about the broader markets, and then we'll come back to Bitcoin, because real quickly, Bitcoin has just entered a very strong resistance zone. In fact, if we zoom out, guys, this of course is going to be the first of many major resistance zones that Bitcoin has to challenge. We did of course have our horizontal resistance zone, which was at that 19,200 POC level. Okay, that was our major trigger level. If you remember back to the couple weeks ago, we were talking about this falling wedge. We've actually been talking about this falling wedge for a very long time. You can see even in our Telegram channel. I'll go ahead and find a post for you guys over here. We talked about this a very long time ago. You know, this is on the 12th of January. We said falling wedge structure incoming. Okay, we're looking for a break of 19,200, the POC level, with a breakout target of 22,500, and we have actually seen that. We've reached 22,500. We've actually gone a little bit higher into this range. You can see that liquidation wick over here, guys, on the daily chart, pushing back down, liquidating a lot of longs, and currently retesting this level now as major resistance. So we'll come back, of course, and talk about this, but real quickly, guys, you can see that the next major resistance on the macro chart that we're looking at is going to be these higher levels, looking around $30,000 to $28,000 and even higher again. So this is a very major chunk of resistance that's going to either facilitate a continuation upwards to retest some of these higher levels. You can see the volume significantly drops off within this range, between this resistance range, okay, which again, low resistance range, easy to push through if we have positive momentum, which we currently do. So it'll be very easy to push through that range if we are able to break this resistance, or of course, we're coming back down to retest some of these levels over here, looking at 21,500, looking at potentially lower. So a very important range to talk about today, and a very important range to look at, and definitely not the area to be FOMOing in. Been saying this so long, guys. We've had so much time to buy Bitcoin. We've been telling you guys so long now. When we're looking for entries on Bitcoin, we bought over here, okay? We looked at entries again, 19,200 breakout over here. We've had good times to buy entries on Bitcoin. Now is definitely not the best time to buy Bitcoin. If you have a massive horizon, if you're looking to hold for a very long time, sure. If you're looking to hold to the next bull market, sure, now is a great time to buy. Of course, Bitcoin is going to go higher than 22,700 in the long term. If you're looking at the short-term time frame, you're looking at the best time to buy. It'd be a safer time to buy to wait for this zone to flip. If we do continue upwards, find support and continue and look for entries on that retest. Or if we are going to continue downwards, look for support bounces or potential correction points where you can buy before we get that swing higher. Because I do not believe this rejection is going to result in a new low. I don't think that's going to happen. If we do reject, like I've been saying for the last 10 or so days, if we do reject on the short term and that extrapolates to a larger time frame, it's going to be a healthy correction before we rally back upwards, okay? Plenty of time to get in. If you haven't, do not panic. It's not the end of the world, okay? Let's go ahead and talk about broad market. So DXY, again, not much to say, guys, as opposed to what we were talking about yesterday, because again, the markets are closed. We are currently at 101.99, so basically 102. The next support level is sitting down over here at 101.35. We do expect a retest of this level. We do expect a retest of this level. Of course, what we are seeing here is quite a sketchy pennant formation. We've had some liquidations upwards, downwards. Again, this is a bearish pennant, okay? It's a bearish pennant with the price entered from the top side in, so it is downward momentum going into this structure, followed by sideways consolidation. We're much more likely to continue that direction on the way down, targeting this 101.3 level, okay? So looking at that. For the upside, guys, to invalidate the structure, we will need to break back above this low over here. Breaking above here is going to send the DXY through this resistance and up to retest this level. Again, bearish for the markets if that happens. So keep our eye on how the DXY performs over the next couple days. Looking at Dow Jones, we're in that same spot, guys. We're at that support range. We're looking for a break below this local low to send it lower, and of course above these highs over here to continue upwards. With the key one-day break and close above 35,500, 35,000, sorry, is the key trigger for a continuation upwards, okay? So again, the market's gonna look very healthy when it occurs. Looking at the S&P 500, we do have this downward diagonal resistance here. This is a falling, expanding wedge, a bullish structure we've been talking about for absolutely a long time. We've been talking about this for so long, guys, ever since back in August. We've been talking about this very long time now. We are looking for a daily candle close above this structure. That is going to be validation point number one. Validation point number two is going to be closes above these local highs, and validation point number three is going to be a daily close above 4,100, which will facilitate a move upwards to retest the next high. Of course, that is going to be very bullish in the markets. And of course, if we do retest this level, we are very likely to eventually push through it. So the markets are looking very good on the macro. We are still waiting for these triggers to set off to push the markets higher. Currently, Bitcoin has seen its rally. We are currently now in resistance. The rally is going to slow down here. We have entered a massive chunk of historical resistance over here, okay? So the move upwards is likely to slow down. Yes, we can see a continuation upwards slightly, 24,000, 23,800. Yes, it can happen. But we are in now a major area of resistance. We are likely to start slowing down in our volatility. We're likely to find some consolidation again on the larger time frame, not on a 2-hour chart. 4-hour, 6-hour, 12-hour, one-day chart, some consolidation before we take that next leg up, or of course before we reject and retest some of these lower areas of support indicated by where these VRPV chunks are occurring. So you're looking at 21,200 to 21,400, you're looking at 21,000, you're looking at 20,100, 200, and you're looking at 19,200. Those are the main areas of support on the current macro chart that you're looking for, okay? Let's go ahead and jump into Bitcoin on this macro chart. Looking for an honest, reliable, and accurate exchange that you can trust to trade on, go ahead and sign up to Bitget with the link down below and join myself and all of our other VIP members and other members who trade on Bitget daily. There's a whole range of benefits and features you can actually get by trading on Bitget. These include no government regulations, meaning you can sign up from anywhere in the world. There's no KYC, 0% trading fees on spot, massively reduced trading fees on futures. It's one of the lowest in the game. And most importantly, access to their protection fund in case the exchange gets hacked. You can actually get reimbursed for your funds, so you can ensure your funds are safe. Now, most importantly, if you do sign up with the link down below, that first link, you'll get access to 2 additional features. These include access to a reward center where you can get up to $4,163 in rewards, and access to the MegaWhale exclusive referral link, bonus discounts. Every other month we do bonus campaigns. We get up to 10% off your trading fees, or even you get a percentage of your trading fees refunded to your account as USDT. Essentially, you get paid to be on the exchange. That's enough, guys. We'll get back into the video. So let's talk about Bitcoin real quickly. What does it mean to break through this resistance? Why is it significant? And what will happen to Bitcoin's price if we do? So, like we said already, we need to identify the macro structures. So we have our falling wedge structure we broke out of. Perfect. Awesome to see. Where is the next resistance zone? Well, we've already talked about that. We have that resistance zone on the chart over here. Moving from there, where is the next resistance? Well, we're looking from the range of about 28,000 up to around about 30,000. Now, the reason we say 28,000 up to around 30,000 is because the $28,000 resistance is an incredibly strong resistance point. This actually marks the yearly low for Bitcoin in terms of the bull market. This is our yearly bull market low. We have a retest of this point back in June, July 2021, and we have a retest of this point just before our second leg of the bull market in January 2021. We finally have a period of quite intense consolidation for about, we're looking at about a whole 4 weeks in May and June 2022. So we do know this area is an area of massive support, and therefore, if we're underneath massive support, we know it's an area of massive resistance. And thus, this is going to be our next target if Bitcoin breaks through this 23,800 resistance level. We are looking for a swing upwards to this next target. Now, it's very unlikely to expect a continuation higher immediately without some sort, of retest, some sort of rejection, some sort of at least even consolidation. However, I do want to point out, like we said already, our first target was 22,500. We hit it. The next target, according to the measured move, and you go back, we talked about this a couple weeks ago. The next target, according to the measured move, taking that measured move distance over here, is around 26,000. Okay, so we do have that potential to actually continue upwards through this range according to our measured move. What the measured moves don't tell us is where those next resistances sit. They more or less tell us a range. So generally we'll move through our measured move until we find the next area of resistance, and that is when that measured move will complete before we either retest and push through or completely reject and create new lows. Okay, so we do need to keep our eyes on that. But what that tells us is it tells us we do have potential to actually push through here. The measured move is not actually complete from the current falling wedge structure we developed over a 5 to 6 month period. Okay, this was bullish consolidation. We are dropping volatility, we are dropping momentum, we had increase in bullish momentum, we had decrease in volume, and we had compression in price in terms of the swings over a period of time in a downward descending consolidation. Therefore, this was bullish consolidation. Okay, again, this isn't something we're popping up now. We've been telling you bullish consolidation for quite a fair bit of time now. This was bullish consolidation. A lot of people were very surprised on this move. Again, those people who were surprised were not looking at the charts for what they were. They were rubbing their own personal opinions and what they wanted to see on the charts and created fictional biases in where the price will go, such as 3,000, 10,000, whatever. Okay, the charts never lie. Always look at the charts. So breaking through this level here, guys, we do expect a continuation upwards to that $30,000 to $28,000 level. The $30,000 to $28,000 level is a actual significant level on charts. It's a very important level because I'll show you on the 4-year cycle. The reason why I think the $28,000 to $30,000 level is so significant is because we look at prior cycles. We can look at the equal point in which $30,000 is. And what I mean by that is, if we look at the 2014 cycle, and we look at the 2018 cycle, the yearly lows of the bull market. This is the bull market top area, okay? And these green lines represent the yearly lows of that cycle, of that top cycle, okay? And represented by 28 to 30,000 in 21 to 22 cycle, okay? We can see every time we close a monthly candle above, we actually never close a monthly candle back below it. We never actually go back below that level for a monthly candle. So if we are able to close a monthly candle above 28 to 30,000, it is very unlikely, according to the 4-year cycle, that we actually go back below 28 to 30,000 for a monthly candle. And the sooner that happens, the sooner we enter a macro uptrend, okay? And this is what I've been saying. The macro uptrend, the bull market uptrend, only initiates above 28 to 30,000. Currently, this is a reversal. This is a reversal pattern, okay? It's not a macro uptrend. The reason it's not a macro uptrend was until we break through these resistances, we still do have a very small chance of actually rejecting and continuing back down. It's a very small chance. It can happen, but it's a very small chance. We are currently in a reversal structure. If we break through this resistance, we are now in a macro uptrend. If we break through the 30,000, we are now in a bull market as per the 4-year cycle. So, according to the structural analysis of these yearly bull market lows, once we close a monthly candle above 30,000, we are not going to close a monthly candle back below it until we reach the next all-time high, and then we create a new cycle, okay? When will a bull market start? According to a 4-year cycle and day range, it will start on the 24th of April, or sorry, the 1st of April, 2024. Now, we will most likely, and according to prior data, we will definitely be above 30,000 by then. It's very hard to say how high we're going to be by then, but it's most likely we'll be above 30,000 according to prior data. But it's very unlikely we're going to be at a new all-time high before April, the 1st April 2024. So my best estimate is going to be, we're going to be somewhere between 30,000 and 60,000 at April 2024. So keep an eye on that. According to a date range past April 2024, we should enter that parabolic rally for Bitcoin, where we basically only have green months until a new all-time high, wherever that all-time high might take us. So keep an eye on that. That is a macro chart, guys. For the short term for Bitcoin, we are looking quite grim still, guys. We have this downward descending resistance on the RSI here, okay? With this resistance, we actually temporarily broke out. This is our liquidation wick. We were pushed back into it. If we look at actually our group chat, we were actually talking about this in the group chat. Let me just find this over here. We talked about this over here yesterday. We said we're going to see some sort of swing upwards over here, liquidation and potential continuation. We are potentially seeing that play out now. Again, it's very hard to say exactly what's going to happen on the short term because we have so much strength in the market, but as a trader, we don't care what can happen. We look at the zones, we look at where resistance is, we play based on support resistance, we play based on our volume ranges and our breakouts. Currently, we are macro resistance, and therefore, I've been saying it, and a lot of people are taking this the wrong way. Shorts are still more favorable here. Now, you can take it the wrong way if you want, and you can think that I'm saying the bear market's on. The bear market's not on, the bull market's on. If you've been watching the video, you would know that I've actually been bullish for a very long time now, and we've been buying Bitcoin, and we're still currently holding Bitcoin upwards. We're making profit. But I can still say on the short term, the bearish scenario for the short term is still more probable. It doesn't mean it's going to play out, but it's more probable. And as a trader, as a scalp trader and a long-term holder, I'm looking to take those short-term trades if there's a greater probability of a drawdown than a pull upwards, which that's why I make more capital to invest more into Bitcoin and etc. You have to make money to invest, okay? That is how I make money. I'm a scalp trader. I look for these discrepancies in price. I look for these scenarios in which I can create opportunity and take these trades if the statistical advantage is on my side. And right now, when we're at macro major resistance, there is a greater chance that we do find some short-term resistance and reject, then we just push right through it. Doesn't matter what you think, it doesn't matter how bullish you want to be, that is just the reality. At macro resistance, there's always a greater chance that you reject than if you just push right through, okay? So on the short term, guys, I am still looking for a rejection. I have been short ever since up here. I am looking for a continuation downwards. I've already made it very clear what my targets are. We're looking at 22,000. We're looking at these red lines, 21,500. We're looking at 28,800, 20,100, and of course 19,500 for targets on the short term. Again, breaking through 24,000 will invalidate that short. Okay, the short is only invalid above 24,000. I have my stop losses around about that level, so only once we break through that level will this short be invalid. We saw this liquidation wick up in the last 24 hours or 12 hours. That was nowhere near strong enough to liquidate a position unless we're trading on 100x leverage, okay, which we're not. So short position at the moment is currently active, looking for a stop loss above around 24,000, or around about that level, 23,800, and we're currently holding for these lower targets. So the short term is looking weak. We are in a rising structure over here with falling momentum, okay? Rising wedge structure, liquidation wick into a major resistance zone. Okay, liquidation wicks into resistance zones indicate generally reversals in price action. You can see it from any side you look at. I'll show you for example. If we flip the chart, guys, we can see we generally have strong liquidations upwards, and then we reject and move downwards. Strong liquidation wicks into resistance before we move downwards. We're seeing that potential same thing over here. Liquidation wick into support before we move back upwards, potentially to see some sort of pullback. That's just how it is, guys. It is just what it is. So I'm going to leave the video, guys. If you've got any questions, leave them down below. Of course, let's go ahead and quickly answer that community question. And the community question is, for anyone foolish enough to have sold at 15K, so I'm assuming you had Bitcoin and you sold Bitcoin at 15,000, what are the chances the price will eventually retrace that number? This quarter, this year, never again, asking for a super bummed out friend. Oof, that is unlucky to whoever that is. So I'll leave the question on the side here just so I can keep an eye on it. So really quickly, guys, if we break over 30,000, the chances that we break back down to 15,000 is slim to none. Like we said already, for a 4-year cycle, breaking over 30,000, chance that we go back down, slim to none. So very, very low chance. I'm talking like a very small chance. Never happened before if we break over 30,000. Until we break over 30,000, we are still in a reversal structure. So we can potentially move back down. I think that the chances of that are very, very slim. Still, we're definitely looking bullish in the macro. Our structures are looking bullish. Our technicals are looking bullish. The traditional markets are looking pretty good. I think the possibility that we come back down to 15,000 from here is incredibly, incredibly low. I would definitely not be counting on it. I don't think it's going to happen this quarter or even this year. I think if it does happen, we'll be able to see it coming, but I don't think it's going to happen as of right now, as of the data we have available, okay? So the answer to that, guy, is I don't think we'll see it. And I definitely don't think we'll see it if we start creating some new highs over here, breaking through the resistance levels. It just becomes more unlikely, and even more unlikely above 30,000. But right now, there is a very slim chance we can happen. But again, I just don't see it happening. So that's my answer to that question. Whoever that dude is who sold 15K, he just needs to think about why he sold. More importantly, what drove him to sell. Was it panic? Was it fear? And then try work on those things, because at the end of the day, guys, it's very hard to make the best decisions in markets, particularly if you are new. I assume he's quite new. It takes a lot of time to develop the mindset and the mental resilience it takes to actually make good decisions, and making mistakes is totally fine. And like I said already, if you missed out on buying already, it's not the end of the world. If you look at the 4-year cycle, guys, and look at where Bitcoin's going to be going, you really haven't missed out on much. You missed out on 50%, who cares, okay? It is what it is. You can't go back in time. You can only make decisions now. You still have 4, 5, 6, 700% of profit that you can potentially still capitalize on. So stop worrying about what you lost and focus on what you can potentially do now to benefit in the future, because that's what matters. What matters is making profit, not what you didn't make, okay? I'm gonna leave the video, guys. If you have any questions, let me know down below, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Cheers.